Yeah, this is about where I saw that spectral deer. It's the same field, but in the morning. Now, when I first started coming clean, or awakening, or whatever you might want to call it, this was my favorite spot. Not because of the bench, but because, for whatever fucking reason, every bench, except for like these two, is facing to the west. So there's like no fucking benches in Bay Ridge that face east to catch the morning fucking sun. But what we do have is this little concrete fucking box and the edge of this bench. You know what I mean? And so in the summertime, I would come out in here in the mornings. I'm like, I'm gonna get this bench so I can put my fucking feet out like this, catch the sun right in the fucking face. Because I had gone to the hospital for whatever, psychiatric problems or whatever, and they fucking laughed at me. They did my blood work, and the doctor was like, yo, your fucking numbers are good, bro. The only thing you're lacking is vitamin D. And that's probably because I spent fucking 10 years at night, you know, just doing a night shift. Doing a graveyard shift, baby. Digging the graves, putting them in, taking them out. You know, necromancer shit. Is what it is. And so the doc's like, hey, prescribing you vitamin D, Bubby. Come out here, and there's like this Russian asshole. He would stand right there, right when I wanted to catch the sun, right at this spot. I took it personally. I really did, because I had never seen him before, and as soon as I started coming out here, he just fucking magically shows up, and he would just stand here and look out to the west every fucking morning. I took it very, very personally. I took it as that was my intent, and like, because he's a fucking asshole, he just had to be where I wanted to be. And that seems, for a lot of things, that's you know, that happens to me. I want to go to a specific spot in a grocery store. I get to the grocery store, everybody's like swarming over the particular item I got in my fucking head. I want to go to McDonald's. You got motherfuckers standing at the kiosks. They're not even ordering anything. They're just standing there, like it's fucking 2 in the morning on a Wednesday. It's like, that ain't normal. This place, you know, should be a fucking ghost town. I should be able to waltz right in. Nobody should be here. But motherfuckers just wake up. Ring. They get the signal that that's what I fucking desire. And they're programmed to fucking just be counter to whatever the fuck I want. You know what I mean? That's the nature of my fucking synchronicity. And maybe I have to clear that from my head and stop taking it personally, and let these slaves fucking go. You know what I mean? I'm trying to free myself, but I have to fucking free a bunch of other fucking retards before I can free myself, you know, from their retardation. Which is like, no, why should I? I should just keep them as my fucking slaves. Maybe I could sell them to somebody, you know, or make them do what I want to do somehow. But I don't know, unintended consequences. It's not, I wouldn't consider it entirely ethical to fucking, you know, make them do what I want them to do. Because honestly, I don't give a fuck what they do. You know, I don't need anything from them. They don't need anything from me. And that's the way it is. Anyways, April 22nd. Nice spring morning. You know, a little bit of a chill in the air. It's not like a summer morning. Got some chemtrails there. Got one of these independent journalists like taking note of the chemtrails and how the skies are called choppy, and then the rain starts coming. So I think there's definitely something to it. You know, whether it's a matter of balance or Bill Gates is just being a fucking jerk off. Abraham Lincoln was the first one to give a weather modification grant back during the Civil War. So weather modification's been around. They had like Project Popeye in the 70s, and then boom, media blackout. You're not allowed to talk about it again. So for a lot of people, that means it simply doesn't exist, or, oh, that's crazy conspiracy theory. Let me go watch reality TV, or men rubbing against each other in spandex. You know what I mean? That's what that means. Because they don't want to. They either don't care, or just it just doesn't interest them. You know, that's American entitlement. I mean, honestly, it's such a big thing. The lie is so big that it'll simply go over people's heads, and then if their brain is too small, they won't be able to wrap their heads around it anyways. So, you know, it's like damned if you do, damned if you don't, and trying to convince anybody of anything. You know, you really can't. And then there's always the danger of you starting to believe your own bullshit. Yada, 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 and so on and so forth. And what can one do? So here I am talking to my little narcissist camera, making sure that I'm being a good little narcissist, but I'm identifying, you know, my faults, as few as they may be. You know, that's the dangers of running around as a nobody, is that nobody's perfect. But if you keep things measured to balance, 50%, you know, he's only 50% perfect. You know, at best. But for whatever fucking reason, even if you're 50% perfect, like, I don't know, I find my accuracy is pretty goddamn fucking high. I find my, you know, my theories, when I line them up against the natural world, are pretty goddamn fucking accurate. Some people in Israel might agree too, even though I'm untrained in the Kabbalah or any of that. And it's a lucky thing, almost everybody wears headphones, so nobody can, like, almost no one can fucking listen in, you know, they pretend they're not listening. But I bet you a lot of them are. But they're just wearing headphones to block anything out around them. You know, they want to, and by rights, they can listen to their own scripts or whatever. The Taliban, the Hasids, the Amish, you know, they all abstain from traditional music these days. And I don't blame them, because, like, you know, certain ethnic music is like, yeah, no one, and I'm a no one, and it's like that. No one denotes a collective, and collectives are weak. Like, if you're hooked into a collective, it doesn't matter, you know, if it's a small team, or if it's, you know, I mean, maybe for the act of doing a collective is important, but for the act of coming up with concepts, ideas, and problem solving, no. Like, if you're doing focused, you know, empathic work, you know, it's understandable. Like, if somebody's saying prayers for somebody, you need the whole family together to, you know, and on the same page, and then your fucking collective prayers will, you know, your collective prayers might actually work for healing purposes. Same thing with fertility too. You know, it takes a village, as Hillary says. You know what I mean? So, like, they put out the flyer, you know, John and Jane are trying to get fucking have a baby, you know, pray for them. And then everybody prays for them, and then it happens. You know what I mean? Amish fertility, Mormon fertility, Hasidic fertility, fine. They're all fucking, it's all fine. Because they pray, you know, they pray for each other to have it. And that's, humans still believe, like, humans still work that way, despite what modern science would have you believe. Like, you can go with the in vitro and shit like that, but wouldn't it be better if you just had a fucking community that could help you out there? You know what I mean? Unless you have just straight personal belief. You know, if you have two people who believe in themselves enough, it doesn't matter what the fucking world will think. You know, the danger of the Romeo and Juliet thing is because they were so young, they didn't have enough wisdom. You know, they didn't have enough wisdom to bind their families together, even though, like, the priest in that story knew it would be the best thing. They couldn't navigate properly. You know, so that's the danger with teen romance, is like their emotions are running wild. Physically, it's like, you know, that's what naturally happens with young romance. At least in my experience, you know, it can happen that way. But there's not a lot of wisdom. So if you get two and two together, you know, encouraging people in their young romances to start families super early, you know, it's a thing. But like, you know, it's a thing, but you know, maybe elders see something in those two that they don't see themselves, and it's like, you know, there's body talk and there's hormones and there's all this shit going on that, like, you gotta find the right balance between, you know, what will come naturally and what is wise. And there's been no balance, because women are looking now in their fucking early 40s, and like, that's a little late in the game. You know what I mean? You gotta start in your 30s, like your early 30s, one might imagine. And I guess for men too, but I've heard stories of fucking old timers, they're 80 years old and they're still having, like, you know, Al Pacino, they still have kids when they're fucking 80 years old. I think that's just women being bitter that, you know, they lose it sometime around 40 or 50. And dudes, particular dudes, can still have it till the day they die. You know what I mean? So I think there's a little bit of fertility jealousy there, and that propagates. So I mean, there's propaganda, but what I know is anecdotal. Plus, like I said, you look at someone like Pacino, who's having a kid when he's fucking 85. You're talking about a special dude. You know what I mean? He can still fucking get it up. Whether he's getting it up natural or not is another story, but his balls still work, you know what I mean? He's still got his fucking balls, and I think that's important, especially in a world where not a lot of people got their balls no more, or they, you know, like a lot of these effeminate dudes. And then you go online, like, what are you talking about, effeminate dudes? It's like they don't even realize they're effeminate because they don't know anybody who has actual fucking balls. You know what I mean? That's the unfortunate nature of where we are in the urban society, is like, so many people are lacking exposure to someone with actual fucking balls. Or it's been, you know, like in my case, I have to actually hide who the fuck I am, because if I told people what I really fucking thought about them on a daily basis, it'd be even fucking worse. It'd be even worse for me, you know what I mean? Like, if I just fucking started casually telling people what the fuck I thought of them, I'd be in the same spot, honestly, not talking to anybody. It's like, you can't handle what the fuck I have to say. So I'm not gonna say anything. Like, why create a conscious enemy when I have enough subconscious fucking enemies as is? You know what I mean? And like, maybe I should just command these motherfuckers to run into the sea like lemmings. See if they do it. You know what I mean? Might be the best way to go. Like, it reminds me of something about like snakes in Ireland, or fucking something with St. Patrick, or something with the Irish, maybe. I don't know. But the sun feels good on my face. It's like the weather is finally starting to break. April 22nd, culminating in a transitional time here. But I find I'm navigating well. You know, waiting on decisions from higher up and out yonder beyond the stars. And we'll see how it all goes. We'll see how it all pans out. You know, my sense of contentment could be higher. There's still uncertainty, but with that breeds a little bit of energy, a little bit of excitement. I'm mostly prepared, but you know, it's things could be going so much more smoothly if people weren't scared. They weren't scared of themselves. They weren't scared of the truth. If they were able to speak what they've been thinking about for fucking their entire fucking lives, instead of burying it, covering it up, pretending it never happened. You know, ostrich in the sand. Put your head in the fucking sand. That's how a lot of people are. You know, head in the sand. And it's like, you're gonna chase down a fucking ostrich. He's gonna run 80 miles an hour and then put his head in the sand somewhere else. You know what I mean? Or they're just gonna fucking slip into complete avoidance or denial. You know, typical woman shit. You know what I mean? Facing the truth these days is far and few between. You know, everybody's like a woman where they'll go into denial and fucking deny everything. You know, such is the nature of a matriarchal society. You know, people will cover up the truth rather than, you know, face the truth. And it's important. It's important for people of all ages to learn how to face the fucking truth rather than run from it. You know? Because there's some difficult truths out there. And there's dark implications to a lot of it. And, you know, if you never face it, it's just going to pile up and pile up. And that's why the generations are failing, because people are denying these truths, both light and dark. You know, you want to live, laugh, love, but you don't want to look at the other side of the coin, which is die, hate, die. What's the opposite of a laugh? Die, not laugh, hate. You know what I mean? What the fuck is the opposite of a laugh? Cry, die, cry, hate. You know, but laughter and crying aren't different. I don't think they're opposites. I have to think about that. That's something to think about. Anyways, at least that's 18 minutes of vitamin D. I could probably use hours and hours and hours of it, but hopefully it won't be the last time I'm in the sun for a while. Just, you know, wintertime. March was fucking brutal. March all the way into the second half of April. There wasn't a hell of a lot of sunshine to be had. Even the winter sun. This is rainy, rainy, rainy. So that's about that. You know, women are far too trusting of homosexuals. That's for fucking sure. Like, don't take love advice from a homosexual. Honestly, they want women and men to not get along so that they have more people to groom. They're taking options away from hetero men and women so that they have more options of people to groom. They want to do, I've heard them talking about it, their sick fucking Universe 25 fetish cults where they fucking, where young, you know, one of their more naive members is interested in women, and the fucking matriarch is literally grooming the fucking dude into being gay and conspiring with someone she's already turned gay into it. My best friend's fucking wife tried to convince him he was fucking gay. You know what I mean? These women are fucking bad news. You should bring back fucking burning at the stake, honestly. Burn a couple of these bitches at the stake to let them know. that this shit's not okay. You know what I mean? Fucking do whatever's gotta be done. You know what I mean? Hopefully in a less fucking cringe way than fucking Andrew Tate, man. You know what I mean? He's like, oh, you know, top G and this and that. It's true what they say. He does, like, his videos of himself sitting like fucking in his underwear on his couch, pretty latently homosexual. But I guess he knows where his bread is buttered. You know what I mean? He's getting the gay clicks. He's getting the dudes who are all about that shit. He's getting people clicking. He's getting the hate clicks. He's getting the clicks. You know, and that's what happens when you're in front of the camera for money. You know, he's getting the clicks by hook or by crook. You know, don't hate the game. Don't hate the player. Hate the game. You know, he's a successful kickboxer and this and that. Just remember it's entertainment. You know, don't take what he says as gospel. But there may be wisdom there to what he says. You know, such is the nature of entertainment itself. You know, don't take these people you look for entertainment as gospel, myself included. And if you're coming here for entertainment and not wisdom, oh, Bobby, I feel bad for you. If you're coming here for wisdom, you might find it. You might find it. But for the most part, it's like therapy. They're better than therapy, honestly. So that's my wrap for this morning, April 22nd, 2025. And yeah, I think that's about it. Just become one with nature here for a second. See if there's anything else needs to be relayed from the sky or the clouds, stars or the trees. Sun's a star, by the way. Stars are always shining, day and night. Just because you can't see them doesn't mean that they're not there. And that's probably what nature felt I should convey. Buried in a, you know, in a bottle, lost in time. And maybe somebody will make it to the end of this video clip, and maybe somebody won't. But and maybe it's not for the people at the other end of this clip at all, but people running past, or for the wind itself, you know, or somebody who will sit on this bench who needs vitamin D in the future or the past. One can never tell. It's never just the one thing, as they say. It's never just the one thing. I'm doing this for YouTube for a specific intent, and it could be going in a multitude of different directions, in a multitude of different measures of time and space. So, such as it is, I'm leery to do like full half-hour videos. I could always come back to them, chop them up into shorter sections if there's clips or portions that are good. But it is what it is. Oh, I used to get angry when people coughed in my presence until I understood what was going on. You know, I thought they were doing it to piss me off. And now I kind of take it as a compliment. You know? I kind of missed the point big time on that. But in the same token, you know, I rarely cough myself in the presence of others. I think like a time cop got me to sneeze a while ago. It happens rarely, but for whatever, my own resilience has become pretty well measured and tested against the projections of others, which could be valuable. Could be valuable for a partner or organization. You know, depends on who might be looking for that sort of thing. Who knows? I signed up for one of Chase Hughes' retreats They said they'll get back to me in 72 hours. I'm kind of at the point where it's like, fuck it. You want to send me to fucking Tulum and give me the waters of life and rearrange my brain, it's fine. I'll fucking crawl back out from wherever, whatever the fuck you're putting on me anyways, you know what I mean? None of that shit will stick that I'm aware of. None of the shit has been able to stick that they've tried to put on me, so we'll see. We'll see. You know, I can make a conscious effort for things to stick, but it's not just gonna fucking stick, you know what I mean? It's not just gonna be like, okay, here's the magic words, here you go, like Salesforce. Like, I have, you know, I'm in such a position that I have to make a conscious effort to become to follow somebody else's script. It's not just gonna be like, hey, I did the thing that works on everybody else. How come it doesn't work on you? Well, guess what, motherfucker? I'm a real ass person, dude. Anyways, I'll leave it there. I'll leave it there on a high note. Later.